And there are a few people that show their face and a 3D printed firearms object. Howdy folks, you're watching Deuce, and hot off the 3D printing press right here is my Hoffman Tactical Forced Reset Trigger. Some assembly required still, but it is ready to be installed in my AR-15. But there is some spicy news going on between Hoffman Tactical and Rare Breed Triggers, which is the originator of the Forced Reset Trigger assembly that's available for commercial purchase. Let's talk about that. But first, what is a Forced Reset Trigger? Well, that is an assembly that you can put down into your trigger pack, or it is an established self-contained trigger pack that you can put into the receiver of your AR-15. And after you pull the trigger, it cycles the bolt back, and the cycling action of the bolt carrier group going back into the, the buffer tube and whatnot forces your finger to be reset. It forces the trigger back, so all you have to do is just pull and just continue pulling. Hoffman Tactical is very well known in the 3D printing firearms community, and while I cannot personally vouch for the Forced Reset Trigger just yet, because again it needs to be assembled and installed, I have installed and printed off and used several other of his designs, and they have all worked pretty decently. So I'm going to say this probably works just as well as the other things I have tried. But unfortunately, Hoffman has received a cease and desist order from Rare Breed's attorney to take down the files, to bring the files down off the internet. Which, good luck with that. Once you upload to the internet, it is everywhere, including my own personal computer. Rare Breed is claiming a patent infringement on this design, so let's talk about that, because I can kind of see both sides of the story here, but I do think at the end of the day, they chose the wrong tactic to get the issue resolved. Starting off, let's talk about Hoffman Tactical's side of the story. Number one is that he designed it and uploaded it on the internet for free use. Anyone with a computer and a 3D printer can download it, modify if they want to. If not, they can just send it straight to their printer, print it off, install it, and utilize it if they wish. But it's completely free. He's not making any money off this whatsoever. Also, 3D printed parts do not last nearly as long as metal parts. The Rare Breed trigger is all metal. I'm pretty sure it's all steel. Whereas the 3D printed parts will not last as long in a firearms environment. They just don't. They wear out very, very quickly. I'm not sure how long this will last, but there'll be at least parts of it that do wear out. There's moving parts here, and one of them gets slammed into by the bolt carrier group, which cannot be good for the 3D printing material. And lastly, if you look right here, here is a comparison of the two trigger assemblies. They are completely different designs. They accomplish the same goal, but in very, very different ways. So is that a patent infringement? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but I'm not a patent attorney, so I can't really make that determination myself. And now let's talk about Rare Breed's side of the story. Number one is that they put out all the research and development money and got it passed through the ATF, which now the ATF's reeling that back and second guessing themselves on this, but they got that through the system and available commercially for anyone with enough scratch to buy it. Because of that, they do deserve to profit off of their research and development and design. Now, is that mandated? If you put into work, are you mandated money back? Not necessarily, but the patent, which it is a patented product. You can see it right there. There's the patent number. So they do deserve to make money off of that patent. While I am not a patent attorney, I do know a little bit about patent law, and that is that you have an obligation to protect that patent at all times. So, for example, let's say I invent a widget, and my neighbor down the street decides he's going to make a few widgets to sell on eBay. And it's such a small scale, shop and operation, I don't care, because he's not really taking any money out of my pocket. But what if a large company turns around and starts producing my exact same widget as well, infringing my patent design? Okay, well that's a big deal to me, so I sue them. That big company is going to show the court that I did not protect my patent from Joe Blow down the street. Therefore, I am not that concerned about patent infringement, and I could lose the case. While it's not written into the law that I squash every single patent infringement out there against my personal widget, it makes it very, very hard to protect my patent in the future if I let a few slip by that I know about. So that's the reason why, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why Rare Breed Trigger sent that cease and desist order, because they've already had to fight someone in court. Actually, the Big Daddy Unlimited already copied their design and started selling it themselves. And that's where I think they're pretty gun shy with letting anyone slip through the cracks, because they've already gone down that road. They've already danced that dance and heard that song. So they do not want to have to deal with that in court anymore. My personal conclusion to this whole issue is, I think that they have a case, Rare Breed has a case against Hoffman Tactical, but they're going about it the wrong way. Instead of sending the cease and desist order, what Rare Breed should have done was put together some sort of very, very cheap licensing agreement with Hoffman Tactical. Some sort of way for them to acknowledge the patent use, even though I still don't think it's a true patent infringement. But if they could say, they send a letter to Hoffman Tactical and say, hey, we see this design, we think it is a patent infringement, we'll license it to you officially for $10 a year. I don't know, something stupid like that. Both parties will get on the books that there's a patent infringement observed and has been taken care of legally. Rare Breed would be protecting themselves against future patent infringements from other companies, and they wouldn't be angering the freedom-loving firearms community, because we do not like it when people tell us no about what we can and cannot make or have. That's just a no-go in the general firearms community, including myself. Before this issue, I had no desire to have a force reset trigger in my AR-15. But now I do, at least once. Because I'm not the kind of guy that likes that kind of stuff. I mean, I've done full auto. It's fun, but it's stupid expensive. Anybody that can run dozens of mags of 5.56 through their AR-15s and not blink about that expense will also not blink at the price of a Rare Breed trigger assembly, which is, they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. They're fairly expensive, in my book at least. If anything, Rare Breed might see a small uptick in sales, because there'll be a few people who would never thought about buying a force reset trigger will download these, try them out, and really like them, but want a more permanent option, which would be going to Rare Breed and purchasing the steel commercial version. It understandably gets very complicated when you try to combine the passion of the firearms community along with the legal obligations of a firearms company, because the two do not always mesh together very well. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think as far as the cease and desist order, and if there were some better options they could have utilized to both appease the firearms community and protect their patent at the same time. Well guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and go subscribe. A lot more is on the way. If you have any comments, questions, or show ideas about this whole patent issue, go ahead and leave that in the comments box below. I'll try to get as many as possible. And as always, you guys have a great day. See ya.